all these major religions, they were formed in a time where people really didn't know anything about anything. You take a look at the Bible, people say, I believe in the Bible 100%, there's nothing wrong with it at all. So, I mean, and then you point things out like, you know, talking snakes, for instance. Like, yeah, that really happened, okay. There's these...
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
let me talk on that. The whole Garden of Eden.
Yeah.
Okay. Why did God have to put a tree with the knowledge?
Because he's a conniving...
I know, but...
He's a conniving asshole is what he is.
Okay, people say, well...
I'm not afraid to say it.
Adam and Eve had free will, so they had, you know... Well, technically they didn't have free will because they did not have the knowledge from right and wrong. Even if God told them it was wrong to go eat the golden apple... They didn't know.
They could not have possibly
processed that because they didn't know what was right and wrong.
That's the thing that a lot of people don't realize about that story, is that it's not... It's not just a fruit from a tree, and it's not just a fruit of knowledge. It's the fruit of knowledge of right and wrong. So there's no possible way they could have known that what they were doing was wrong because they didn't have the knowledge of it. And another thing is, why would God put the tree there in the first place? Why would he say, hey, don't eat this fruit?
Yeah.
And then why would he allow Satan to come into... And I don't know why Satan had to be a snake, for one thing, but why would they allow him to, you know, to tempt them into doing that? And then after that, he punishes the rest of humanity for eternity.
Kills millions of people.
Like, let's just take a look at... Okay, we have to talk about God for a little bit. And we can run a little bit over time because of the segment I had to cut out.
Yeah,
so we can run a little bit over time.
And we're having a blast.
Yeah, we're going. This might be a little bit over, but this is good. This is about to get really good. Let's talk about God specifically. Okay, people have asked me, why don't you believe in God? Don't you want this and this and that? And I'm like, well, maybe. It depends what God you're talking about.
If I were to want to believe in God, if there was any God I would want to believe in, it would not be the Christian God.
No.
He is an asshole. Okay,
let's take a look at, let's just go through the whole synopsis of this whole Christian story. Okay, so God's bored one day. He's like, you know what? I'm going to make a universe and a planet, and I'm going to make a little garden here and put these two people in my image on there. So he works super hard for 6 days because apparently before he creates time, there's days. Before he created time, there's still a sense of days. So
or light.
Yeah. So somehow he creates before he even creates time. You know, time is passing. So it takes him 6 days to make the Earth. And then hold on. And then he's like, this is really, and it was good. And then let's see, he makes night and day before he makes the sun and the moon. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then he decides, you know what? This is cool, but I want to make some people. So he makes Adam out of dirt. Okay, remember, he made Adam out of dirt.
Yeah.
And then
he made Eve from his rib.
Eighth
rib or something like
that. He rips out this guy's rib. I don't know, like...
But, he can create the whole entire universe out of nothing.
but he has
to rip a freaking rib off somebody.
Luckily, I don't think he was able to feel pain yet, because I don't think that they were able to feel pain until after they were banished from the garden. So luckily,
which he said if they ate the golden apple, he would kill them.
Did he? I don't remember that part.
No, he didn't kill him. I saw that in the Skeptic's Bible.
Okay, so he has to savagely rip this guy's rib out to make him a mate. He doesn't give them the knowledge of right and wrong, but he puts a tree with the knowledge of right and wrong in the garden with them and tells them not to eat it. Then he allows Lucifer, Satan, whatever you want to call him, to transform into a snake, which is pretty cool power, by the way. I don't think Jesus ever able to morph into
he was not. Well, he did become a zombie.
That's true. So Jesus can transform into zombies, but I don't know. No, that's not really transforming though, because he was just killed. He was just killed. So
he was just killed.
He just became a zombie.
Yeah.
So Satan's better than Jesus in that way because he can just morph.
I'm a talking snake.
So Satan becomes a snake and convinces them to eat from this tree.
I guess maybe it wasn't really a snake because he had legs. And then, he decided that he was going to condemn all the snakes.
That's right.
And take off their legs so they had to crawl on their belly.
So he was like this really long lizard creature. Okay, so then he banishes them for that, and then for the rest of eternity, all of humankind had sin, had original sin before they were even born. They were born with this original sin. So what comes next, Chad? People start living, being born, having their little civilizations.
Yeah. Like you had the Egyptians.
Okay.
You had the Hebrews,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that. Well, I don't know if they considered Sodom and Gomorrah. I don't think they were Jews, were they?
I don't know, but let's talk about Sodom and Gomorrah for a minute. We're not Bible scholars, but we know a lot of what's in there. We know general stories. So Sodom and Gomorrah were these places where people were just butt fucking each other and doing
Las Vegas of their times.
It's an extremely sexualized Las Vegas. People are just doing it in the streets and partying all day and night, and God doesn't like that very much. So
he decides to kill them.
He just wipes them off the fucking face of the earth.
Even the children.
Everyone in both towns.
All the women,
dead.
all the children, everybody.
just gone.
But if you marked a red X on your door, that meant you were going to be saved.
Wasn't that in Egypt with the Pharaoh?
Oh, that might have been.
I do remember that somewhere.
I think it was in both because he can't tell the difference between someone who's on his side.
Yeah. Okay, I don't remember which book that was in, but there was like the people on God's side would mark an X on the door, so their firstborn wouldn't be killed, or I don't know, something like that. I have to go back and read it, but that's a story for a different day.
Yeah, but let me quote on that. Why would you want to kill someone's firstborn son? Why would you want to do that? You're killing a child. Why would you want to do that in the first place?
Chad, they're sinners and they deserved it. These children were fucking animals and they deserve to be killed, Chad. Don't you? God loves everyone, Chad. You gotta know that. Don't you know that? He loves everyone.
He loves everyone, but he likes to make it rain frogs. And
I punish you. I'm gonna rain frogs down from the sky.
I mean, what if they were to rain frogs on the late Steve Irwin? He'd be like, "Oh, crikey, I love it." He would love it.
Okay,
so it's to each their own.
So let's fast forward a little bit. By this time, the whole world has just gone to shit, and the only good people are Noah and his family.
Yeah.
So God's like, okay, this is just out of hand. Okay, Noah, you need to build an ark. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you build this ark, and when you're done, you're going to take 2 of each animal.
Wait, I like how he sailed to Australia to get the koala bears and the kangaroos first.
Yeah, he definitely did that. So Noah...
But, we didn't have to know that. They didn't have to tell us that.
Yeah, so Noah builds this ark.
That is like 1/3 of the size of Titanic, by the way.
Yeah, and he fits thousands and thousands of animals onto here. And
would probably be up in the millions, wouldn't it? As many animals there are.
Let's see.
Because he's got to get all the like the insects and stuff that have to.
I think there's a loophole in the Bible where insects didn't get on the ark. I think there's a loophole about something about.
What about birds?
Something about breathing through the nostrils or something like that.
Oh yeah, he had to have birds on there too because birds can't fly over the water.
They can't fly forever. So I mean.
What an asshole! How long did that flood last?
Did it last like 40 days or something? 40 days and nights or something like that? Well, it lasted long enough to flood the entire fucking planet.
Like completely, like over Mount Everest and everything.
So God, this all-loving God wipes out every living being on the planet.
So every sinning deer out there got... And, not like, they went quietly. No, they fucking drowned.
These animals and people and animals just running from these huge floods trying to get to high ground, and they're just...
It's Katrina times 10 billion.
Yeah, it's just...
And no one's there to help because everyone's dying.
It's just a total massacre. So he wipes out everything on the earth. So,
but the 2 animals won the fucking lottery that got to pick.
Oh yeah.
Because, hey, all those assholes are trying to fuck my lady's gone. Now I get to fuck her non-stop and make so many children with her.
So from that time, after the flood was over, all the animals got out and they all ran back to their homes. I don't know how they did it.
Okay,
but
wouldn't there be a lot of bodies? Wouldn't the earth smell like fucking shit?
Here's the thing, though.
Or did all the rotting corpses get pshooed out of there?
Well, I mean, God's magic. I mean, he has to have a flood to wipe out all the people on
You know,
Earth.
he can't just make them disappear.
But he can make their bodies disappear. He just can't kill them all at once. Or maybe he can. He just wanted.
Well,
to,
why couldn't he? He made the entire universe.
I think he's just sadistic, and he just wanted to watch them.
Because that's
drown.
suffering. Yeah.
Yeah. Why did he do that?
God, that's awful.
Why the hell? Why would he do that? Okay. So after that, do you know when the pyramids were built?
Roughly what? There's the latest one, or it was like 4,000 BC, something like that.
Around 100 years after the flood was supposed to have happened. So Noah and his family fucked each other and created enough of a population to fill
the pyramids
to fill that area of the world. Enough time for them to forget all of this happened, and for
wasn't
people
Noah like 300 years old or some shit like that
I
too?
think he lived to be like 900 or something like
Yeah.
that.
So this old man, this Professor Farnsworth of their day, 180 years old. God. So he's like the greatest grandpa ever. Like, you can't even count so many great grandpas he's got to be. I mean, come on, people.
Yeah.
In 100 years, he can make that many people?
And I love how God just like, okay, I've killed everybody. Now you guys have to repopulate. The family had to fuck each other. They had to
incest.
There had to be generations and generations of incest just to get the population to what it is now. It's just
isn't incest in there, like a verse in there that says incest is okay?
I guess God made an exception for them because they had to. But I don't know.
God, you were Adam and Eve. That's two people. That's still incest. After a while, it becomes incest.
Well, once they have kids and they continue, then it becomes incest. Yeah.
Yeah, because the kids will have to fuck each other.
They'll have to.
They'll have to.
They have no choice if they're going to repopulate.
Because the kid can either fuck the sister or fuck the mother, and that's still super incest.
That's pretty disgusting. Yeah.
And that's why we don't have that many mentally challenged people is beyond me.
I think the descendants of those incest families are religious people, Chad. I think that's why they
are mentally challenged.
I think that's why they can't think right. Okay,
they are mentally.
I apologize. That was
the snarky
that was
atheist.
That was a bit of snark.